Chunjuan Nancy Wei is an associate professor at the University of Bridgeport in Connecticut. She said U.S. President Donald Trump is missing a great opportunity to take his message to Asian leaders by not attending this meeting.
Within his administration, there are different voices about how to continue with the trade war with China and other countries. And this is a very important forum for the president to represent our country in the case that he could articulate the policy and everyone would treat him much more seriously as than any other of his cabinet members.
And Singapore's ambassador at large was at a conference recently talking about this, and he questioned the administration's commitment to the Asia-Pacific region. But he went on to ask the question, if Asia really matters to America, why is your leader, President Trump, not here?
Unfortunately, in September, it was announced that he's not going to be there. And the Vice President Mike Pence and John Bolton will be there. And so far, these two leaders, in my view, have presented a more hardline view toward China and other countries. Therefore, I think this one probably going to be more divisive for Asia Pacific than otherwise. I also learned that last week there was an announcement that United States and Shinzo Abe and Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe are going to work together to provide up to $70 billion of infrastructure for the region. And also Australia has announced more than $1.4 billion for infrastructure building for the region. So I think that this is probably going to be a very good opportunity for the United States to present a different approach to China's Belt and Road approach in the region. But overall, I think since this is the first time in the trade war that APEC is in the shadow of the trade war, it's going to be watched very carefully by various sides, as some countries are going to perceive this as they are forced to choose sides between the United States and China. So this is going to be a bit difficult for the region. On the other hand, I see that there are a lot of resources for the region.
And Trump's predecessor, Barack Obama, talked a lot about the pivot to Asia. He attended a lot of these events. I believe he skipped one because there was a threat of a government shutdown he sent to his Secretary of State. But do you see Trump reversing his predecessor's pivot to Asia by not being there?
I do not think so. Overall, the goal is about the same. That is, the United States sees the rise of China as a threat. So it's just the different approaches to deal with this perceived threat, in my view. I do not think this is completely disregard of the pivot policy. It's just a different approach.